Hey everybody, welcome to the 191st episode of Super Joystick Radio, a weekly gathering of friends here to talk about all things video games. My name is Andy Halder and I'm joined by one of my favorite party members, Justin D.
What's up, everybody?
Today we'll be discussing reignited rumors of Game Pass on Switch, Netflix eyeing the gaming biz, and Starfield is an Xbox exclusive. But first, what have we been playing? Justin, you want to take us off?
Yeah, for sure. Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. This week I've been playing a little bit of Overwatch as it is their anniversary event.
No.
Yes.
Overwatch?
Yeah, I needed something to fill the time before Biomutant.
Woot woot.
Yeah, I can't wait. That comes out next week, and I have had that pre-ordered for quite some time.
Yeah, I've been watching that one for years.
Ugh, I can't wait. It's supposed to come out in like 2018, so I'm happy it's finally,
It's insane, and they stopped talking about it too.
They did.
Weird.
Well, I think at one point, a lot of people got pissed off because, what's up, Tyler? What's going on, buddy? How you doing? How's your family? They stopped talking about it. Like they were, it was crazy. They like 1 year the World Cup for soccer was happening, and they're like, because I believe the studio that's making it is like super European. And so they are like super into soccer. I guess to them it is football. But they bailed on E3 1 year. I think it was like 2018 or 2019. And they're like, yeah, we're not showing up because of the World Cup or whatever like that. And everyone was like, fuck you guys. That's cool.
Hey, it's like the most popular sport in the world.
It is. It's because it's the easiest one to pick up and play.
Ooh, dig.
Yeah. No, it's easiest to set up. All you need is literally like a spot where you set up a ball and a goal. Like that's two goals, I suppose.
That's true. It's a complex game though, with lots of interworkings.
Lots of running. Not my type of sport. You
know?
Yeah,
me neither. I'll take bowling.
I don't think yeah, right. I can't run for 90 minutes.
I'm not good at bowling either. Gotta practice the Wii bowling a little more.
No, that was the way to go, man. Wii bowling was the shit.
Hell
That's
yeah.
what the Switch needs. Switch needs more bowling.
My grandma was boss at that.
Yeah, I believe it. Everyone's grandma was boss at that. What's up, Power? How you doing, buddy? How's the family? Good to see you here with us. Hey, so anyways, yeah, going on about Overwatch. Again, just want to kind of touch base. So the anniversary event is going on right now. There is a ton of new skins that are available. There's 8 new skins that they introduced, and some of them are pretty good, and some of them are kind of like, meh. But again, I'm here just to enjoy the skins, not necessarily, judge them. Just want to get as many as I can, get my hands on. I'm trying to like put them in the bank. Junkrat's got a really great one. So right now I'm playing as the Krampus version of Junkrat, which is great. He's like a really fucked up looking version of Santa Claus, and I just hurl lots of grenades at people, which is fun. Cause lots of chaos.
Yikes.
That's my dig. Yes. But anyways, he gets one that's like he's like Candyman. He's almost like a crazed, like a whacked out Willy Wonka. It's
Ooh,
wild.
That's cool. I like it.
It is very cool. So again, right now it's a great time to play because in the event for the anniversary, not only do they have all the new skins, any skin that's been released previously in any event over the last 5 years is available. So the only time that you're able to get any of the old skins without waiting for that same holiday to come around. It's like Halloween, you can only get it at Halloween time, and Christmas, you can only get it at Christmas time, and so forth and so on. However, with anniversary, they unlock every skin that they've ever released in any emote and any dance or any kind of whatever. And so that is all available right now. So, it's a great way to just take advantage of getting any skin that you've ever missed out on.
Nice.
And if it's come out within the last 12 months, it ends up still being 3,000 credits. But anything that was out longer than 24 months, it's now down to 1,000. So, it's not a bad way of getting back into it for sure and getting those things that you want. Yeah, thank you. Now, this week they've got the Anna skin. That's going to be going on here until Tuesday of this week, and then it's going to be Echo. So there's like a cybermedic is what they're calling Anna's skin, and then there's the Bird of Prey, and then the final week is going to be Wrecking Ball, and that's an 8-ball that he turns into, which is kind of pretty cool.
What?
Yeah, so it's a hamster and a giant It's a hamster in this giant bot mech.
Love it.
It is coming at a little bit of a higher cost. So you have to play 27 matches, and Overwatch matches can stretch anywhere between, I would say on the conservative side, like 8 minutes, and then on the long side, 20 to 30 at times. It's crazy. So you got to play 27 matches, and that's if you lose them all. Now, if you win, it counts as twice. So essentially, you're trying to get 27 points. And so if you play one and lose, you get 1 point. And if you win, you get 2 points. So if you're lucky as shit, you can play 13 matches and lose once, and boom, there's your 27 points. But oftentimes, unless you are like next level and you have a team, it's probably going to take a little bit longer than that. Now, you do have to do that each week if you want each of the skins. So, like, every week, it's a hard reset. So, like, this week is the Anna, so you've got to do the 27 matches, up to 27 matches. If you want that skin, there's really not a way to kind of cheat the system. In previous events, there have been ones where it was an event that you got stars based upon how well you did, and if you played a certain map, you got double the stars, and you'd be able to finish it in five matches. So
it's like they want you to play their game or something.
I know, right? But that's okay. Season 28 just came out too, so I jumped into that and for competitive, and I got my tank to around 1830-ish in the silver ranking. So I'm gonna try to get myself to gold and then to diamond. I've never actually been into diamond. I've always wanted to tiptoe into that arena, and then I always get scared because when you play and you lose SR. So then, I just don't want to get to gold and then plummet right back into silver, because I've been hard stuck silver for a while.
You gotta take risks if you want to be the best.
I know. What is this, like Pokemon?
Yeah, gotta catch them all.
All right, yeah. So, if you want to join me for a few matches, let's get this event going. But yeah, that's what I've been playing. As well as I picked up Mass Effect, the Legendary Edition last night. So yeah, buddy. This is a huge nostalgia bomb for me, and I absolutely love it. This is one of my...
Do you want a soundbite for that?
Go for it, please, by all means. Oh, shit.
Nostalgia bomb.
So this is one of my favorite series. Super excited that it's found its way on the PlayStation 4. Again, BioWare has made some amazing games. This one included, as well as the KOTOR series and Dragon Age. I mean, they just make some mammoth games, and super stoked that this trio is all in one collection. They didn't like re-release one and then just be done with it. They did everything. So graphics look great, honestly. I started, I mean, this is Mass Effect 1 that I'm showing here. That's where I jumped off into, because I guess if you do Mass Effect 1 and 2, when you get to the part in Mass Effect 3 where traditionally you had to have done like the multiplayer to prepare yourself for that final encounter, so you don't have that many losses within the colony, the way they redesigned it, because there is no multiplayer aspect in 3, is if you beat 1 and 2, you're carried over, and like you have all that experience built up that your character has. You could jump directly into any game that you want to play. You could jump into 1, you could jump into 2, and you could jump into 3 at any time, no matter what you want to do. But if you go through 1, 2, and 3 and you transfer over your character data to that, it'll kind of take over that experience that you brought with you. That's to cool. that. What I really like too is with the game here, I did decide to go soldier to begin with, just because it gives you the proficiency in all the weapons. In Mass Effect 1, you have access to all of the guns. So you've got the sniper rifle, the pistol, the shotgun, and the assault rifle. Some classes are better equipped with those guns than others. And then some of them have like the like biotics or what is it? What's the word? Bionics, something like that. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, like they've got like the psi powers, like the abilities where they can like manipulate shit and like throw things and everything, and that's part of their character. Soldier doesn't really get any of that, but they have the best proficiency with guns. I just ripped through some machines right there, and then these walking mushroom clouds. So now one thing I'm going to say that I'm looking forward to is getting into 2 and 3, because Vanguard was one of my favorite classes to play in Mass Effect 2 and 3, but I know in Mass Effect 1 Vanguard was kind of like meh, because in Mass Effect 2 and 3, the Vanguard took huge changes in the class skills, and so it made it more of a run and gun versus a cover. And so that I love playing that aspect of it. I just played Soldier for the first. I just want to get through Mass Effect 1 as Soldier and just kind of have as much fun as possible. Now, the one thing I will say that I was disappointed was with this re-release, there wasn't more cosmetics added to your character creation. So, it was pretty standard of what it was back then. There was a sort of a lack of beards, lack of hair.
Lack of beards.
Yeah, I know. You can the most you can have is like a 5 o'clock shadow or a mustache.
That's annoying.
I know, it's really bad.
What system is this on, by the way?
This is PlayStation 4. So this is on. You can play. I believe it came out. It's for PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. And then they have the port here for you can play it on your PlayStation 5 or the Xbox Series X, and it'll look better and play a little bit. The frame rate will be a little bit better too. But the one thing I'm going to mention too here in a moment is that here's a pro tip.
Oh, I'm not even ready for that. I need to get some hotkeys set up.
So if you have the Mass Effect Legendary Edition and you play it on the PlayStation 4, you should finish it on the 4 because your save file will not transfer over to PlayStation 5. So if you've beaten all of 1 and 2 and you're ready to go on to 3 and you just got that sweet PlayStation 5, don't try to finish that because it won't carry over your save data.
That doesn't even make any sense.
I know, but you know what doesn't have a problem with that? The Xbox.
Ooh.
Yeah, bird.
Well, you could probably play the original Mass Effect on Xbox.
Yeah, I think there's a way because this is EA as well. So this is on the EA. I want to say if you had EA Play, you got like a $6 or $7 discount off this game. But I think that since it comes with Xbox, if you have the Game Pass,
I don't think this is on Game Pass yet.
Okay.
I did a quick search while you were talking because I was curious.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of people asking if it's going to come to Game Pass, and this was like a few days ago, so I think it's not on Game Pass yet, like the Legendary Edition.
Right.
But it will be, I'm sure.
I'm sure, yeah, for sure, at some point down the road. But anyway, so if you have PlayStation...
FYI, I just want to throw this out there. Like most PlayStation games, I'm pretty sure that you can use your save from a PS4 to the PS5. Just so you know, because I've loaded up some stuff and been able to play it like from where I left off. I'm pretty sure, like Red Dead, I think I did that. So actually, I definitely did with Red Dead.
Okay, nice. Power interesting. So there's an old PS5 and a new one coming out.
Say what? Explain yourself.
Yes, I think Power might be. It might have better sources than we do because I've not heard about. Yeah, right. Is it? I think it might be the chip. I know that they've been talking about a redesign of the thing. Yeah, so that's So Power heard the same thing I had. So they're kind of redesigning the PlayStation so that they can get more of it out by redesigning it with a different chip.
Ooh,
but I don't know how efficient that's going to be.
I hope it doesn't affect anything positively or negatively because that would create quite a mess.
Right, exactly.
And if they find a different one, why didn't they just use that in the first place?
I think they were just, I don't think they were anticipating it. I'm surprised they didn't
pandemic and a shortage on
and a shortage of chips. Yeah. But anyways, so for the most part, this game looks great. It feels great. It feels like old Mass Effect. You can so when you transfer over, you can change classes. You won't, however, be able to change what you look like. So if you wanted to change your look between the Mass Effects, unfortunately, that's not going to be an option, but you will be able to change your class. So you're not hard stuck like Soldier. Like I'm not going to have to play Soldier 2 and 3. I'll be able to play Soldier the first round and then go to Vanguard if I want. Yeah.
Does that mean that you're? Sorry if you already said this. I'm reading chats and looking up stuff and queuing things.
Right.
But did you say anything about if you do switch classes, do your decisions still stay the same? Like
everything stays the same.
Okay, so
but you have to play like Soldier. You have to play it all the way through Mass Effect 1. You can't midway through Mass Effect 1 change to a different class. Like once you pick a class,
you're stuck with it for that game.
Exactly,
but not for the whole series then.
Correct. And then any choices you've made in Mass Effect 1 or 2 when you go over to the next one and the next iteration. So everything that all the decisions I've made in Mass Effect 1 will transfer over to Mass Effect 2 when I go over.
Now, just so I should have probably started this segment with this, but I haven't played Mass Effect actually any of them, probably since Mass Effect 2 came out, and I don't remember them very much at all. So this is kind of cool and a little bit of a like flashback for me. But yeah, I totally would want to play like the newest one. So this would really be kind of a smack in the face, like, oh, you got to start at the beginning. But I want to go through that and like experience all those choices, because even then when I did play them, I played them on different platforms and stuff, right? I think, because didn't the second one come out on 360, or did that come out on Xbox also?
Well, it was 2007 when the first one came out, and then the second one came out, I want to say was
2007.
2007 was when Mass Effect original came out.
Was that? I thought it came out on the original Xbox.
Let's fact check it then real quick.
Fact check.
So while I'm looking that up here, so
we do have a question here. From Kenshiro Power?
From Power. Yeah, from Power.
Like on the PS3, at first you could play PS1, PS2. Then they made the newer one, and they weren't backwards compatible. Oh yeah, that's true. So from between the PS1 and PS2, you could play Mass Effect on the PS2 or 1, and they were backwards compatible. But with PS3, it was backwards compatible at the beginning though. But I don't know if they had a problem bringing that over. Oh, okay. He also says 360 was the first one.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I just looked it up here.
For some reason, I thought it was on the original Xbox, but that's much better then.
Right. I think it was. I mean, we're probably thinking KOTOR, because KOTOR was on the original Xbox.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's kind of a blurry era for me, anyways. But how long are these games? Aren't they like at least 40 hours?
Yes. So that's what I was gonna say. You get a lot of bang for your buck here for this shit, because the Legendary Edition is going to span you all three games, which run you anywhere between 30 and 40 hours just to complete. And then it includes all of the DLC for every single game. So you're looking at roughly what it's been clocked out to be is about 140 hours to beat everything. And that's not even to like, if you want to like complete it with like all the challenges and do everything else.
Forever.
Oh, it takes so long. But anyways, yeah, so you're getting 140 hours worth of gameplay for $60. And I think that's a huge deal for gamers. I mean, 3 games that have been, restored and, brought back up to their glory. So it's awesome. So I really dig that they put so much into that. The guns feel great so far in Mass Effect 1. I don't really notice a whole lot of difference. I actually really enjoy playing with the sniper rifle. I also really enjoy the fact, I forgot that Mass Effect, they don't have a clip to your gun. So there's not like bullets necessarily. It's just like your gun overheats.
It's like Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly. So like after like a certain amount of time, it has to cool down if you're like doing like rapid fire. But if you time things out, you're never having to deal with like your gun jamming or overheated or anything. So like I said, I'm getting Biomutant here on Tuesday since I pre-ordered that for such a long time ago. Super excited to play the Samurai class. That's part of it. But
so you're not going to be able to get through this game?
No, there's no chance I'm going to get through Saving the Galaxy before that comes out.
But you're going to be playing it for a long time. That's the thing. It's like a long haul game.
Yeah, I mean, I beat Resident. It sort of give myself a perspective. I beat Resident Evil in about 10 hours, and it took about a week to of gameplay. So I mean, if I did everything in Mass Effect for that,
it's going to take you a year.
14 weeks. Yeah, it took me 14 weeks if I averaged about 10 hours and I just played that exclusively. But this one I'm really stoked that I have it. Yeah, looks good. There's more to come. I promise there will be more to come. I'm really excited to show off more of especially 2 and 3. So once I get there, maybe move a little bit further along in Mass Effect 1, I'll have some more teasers for y'all, but I'll end up streaming it for y'all. But hey, Andy, what have you been playing, buddy?
Hey, I've been playing more Nier Replicant.
Nice.
And, so I'm still just kind of hacking through this game. It's, I have not put a ton of hours into it. I think I'm probably about like 18 or 19 in now, which is I did not make much progress this week, I'll be honest.
Okay.
Been busy and kind of getting over a cold and stuff like that too, so that's kind of shitty.
Worst.
But yeah, so I apologize if I'm sniffly or coffee. But yeah, I'm still digging it. It actually opens up a little bit, and I guess I shouldn't say opens up per se, but it adds like a twist. So in the notes I said, "What's a twist?" Because basically, and I don't really want to spoil anything, but I guess you always tell me it's like a 10-year-old game or whatever, so I can say stuff.
Right.
So I'm not gonna like say anything. I don't think it's crazy, but basically, there's like a time lapse in the game that occurs. I think it happened around. I put 13 hours here, but I think it was probably more like around 14 or 15 for me. But I was doing some side quests and things. But there's like some climaxes in the story, several ups and downs, big moments, and kind of where I thought, oh, okay, this is going to be ending A or something.
Right.
Because I've heard there's multiple endings and stuff. And, but no, actually, once that happens, then it doesn't roll credits or anything. So I don't think that was the ending. But right after that big climax, the game changes, and there's this time lapse, and you come back as like an older. I think you're more of like a younger kid or like a teenager in the first part of the game. Okay. You kind of come back as like a man.
The man.
Now you're a man.
A man. Fucking love Orgasmo.
I know, it's so good. Yeah, so then you come back and there's some new mechanics. So first you have like two-handed weapons. So in this clip that I'm showing here, you see this gigantic dual-handed sword that I'm wielding. That is obviously heavy because it's like taking a lot longer to swing and everything. But it's cool. I haven't really played with the spears. I imagine they're faster, but they don't do as much damage, and they don't have like a DPS thing on here, so I'm not sure. It's probably beneficial to use a spear because you attack more quickly, but I don't know. The swords are way higher attack power, so I've been using those.
Nice.
And nothing really new on the magic front that was notable. So it's pretty much just those things. But the other thing that's big is that now you have an additional party member, which is cool. And it's the moon-faced or skull-faced guy or whatever I'm not sure if I've talked about it on the show, but in trailers and things they show this like, very near looking character. Like when I think of Nier, this completely encapsulates like the art style to me. Yeah. It's like this floating, almost like Grim Reaper dude who's got like this, I don't know, it's just like a sphere head with a creepy like tooth like grin, and then like it kind of looks like a skull, but also like a moon. If you can picture that, or you might catch him in the video clip I'm showing here. But yeah, he's cool too. So now I have two party members. So there's 3 of us in the party, and we're all just whooping ass on these shades,
nice,
destroying them and everything. So, yep, getting through there. There was another big moment, another big boss at the end of this section that you're not going to see in this clip because I didn't want to spoil anything. There's something that happens during that story-wise that I think you should see yourself.
Nice.
But excuse me. And but after that, you get to this point where they're like, "Oh, here's this this I don't even know what it is. It's like a stone like symbol." And they're like, "Oh, there's 4 of these, and you got to go all around the world and collect all these, different stone pieces and put them together as the key to like, fight the final boss."
All around the world, statues crumble for me.
Nice. But to me, it felt like a total straight up Zelda moment. Like, oh, you've been playing for 17 hours. Now collect these 5 different things from all around the world to go fight the final boss.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's going to be, several or a handful of hours of gameplay that's just going back to all these different areas and fighting more difficult enemies.
Yeah.
To get these pieces to then go fight the final boss. And then after that, I'm assuming that would be the first ending. And then since I've heard there's multiple endings and the game can actually get up to be like 35 to 40 hours to get all the endings, that I don't even know what's going to happen after that.
Right.
So the game's changed so much. Yeah, I'm interested.
Yeah, for sure. And I believe that they said that there's 5 endings. So
not nearly as many as
Nier. I think there's 26.
Because that's
something crazy like that. Like just like
those are fun.
Yeah. That's wild. I know that some of them weren't, very long, but no,
crazy. They weren't. But still, it's still really cool to like, try to do things from different angles and like,
for
unlock
sure.
those different endings was fun. So I hope it's something like that. But yeah, we'll see. So I'm excited to play the final boss and see what comes next. But so far, there's been a lot of cool like little twists and turns, and you know, I don't know if I mentioned like the graphics. I was talking to you about it earlier, but it does look really good. My video is only 720p because of YouTube for some reason wouldn't let me download the high def version, which is annoying. But it looks really crisp on PS5 and I'm sure PS4 Pro. Yep. But it still has like this kind of art style that's like it feels a little dampened, kind of like a PS3 kind of. There's just this haze over it, kind of.
Right. No, for sure. I think that was one of the things.
That's a good way to say it.
I think a lot of people, a lot of people that reviewed this game said kind of the same thing. Like, it looks better. Like, it obviously looks like it's been up-res, but it has that kind of funk to it, like it's a PlayStation 3 game.
Right.
Like it feels like it's a nicer looking version of a PS3 game.
Right.
Brought into the modern era. So you know, I still like it. I still actually think it looks great on PlayStation 3. So, or I'm sorry, on PlayStation 4. So
yeah,
you know, it does look good here. What do those words do? I've always wondered what they actually do. Is that the how you upgrade your character, like slot them in?
I talked about that last week actually.
Words. I never actually got to, or I got them, but then I never realized that I could slot them, and so I haven't gone back to the game here yet, and I want to. But,
were you talking? Were you referring to the menus that I keep bringing up?
No. I was talking about the word when you just beat that big boss guy. That was kind of the big shade.
You got a new word.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so
so I did talk about those last week, but
and you can engrave those into weapons, right?
Yeah, weapons and magic. So you can like use those to. They're just modifiers, so you can use them to. You slot them onto your weapons and magic, and then it increases the attack power, defense, or in some cases it'll add like poison or paralysis or something like that.
Nice.
So, and you can use them on all of your weapons at the same time. So you don't get like multiple instances of them. You just unlock the word, and then you can use them in any combination on any number of weapons, which is cool.
Solid. So once you know the word, the bird is the word.
The bird
just use
is
it whenever you want.
They don't have the bird word in this game.
Oh, that's unfortunate. They need the bird word.
That would be cool if they had like a Easter egg where you could get like the bird word, where if you hit an enemy, you turn into a chocobo or something.
Yeah, dude, that'd be so good.
Just like a cross or a Moogle word.
Yep.
It's not Final Fantasy, but it's still Square.
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah. Anyways, I'm excited to see what comes of this, and we'll see what big changes are in store. Hopefully, I should be able to plug away more this week, and then I will report back next week. Sounds good.
Hell yeah.
All right, awesome. Let's keep things moving with News Bites.
Oh, yeah.
Put them in my mouth.
Yummy.
Nom, 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 nom.
It's eating imaginary sandwiches.
That's fun. Have you tried it?
Yes. Delicious.
It's like Hook. You remember that movie with where Peter Pan's old? Yeah. And then they have that whole pretend dinner, and then he won't do it because that's silly. But then once he finally pretends, it's like real food.
Oh yeah, it's like legit. And then they have that giant food fight.
But they're actually just eating a bunch of fucking whipped cream that's colored for some reason. It's like green and purple whipped cream. I don't know what that stuff's supposed to be. Looks delicious though. I'd eat it.
Yeah. Rufio!
Oh! Hey!
Greatest character ever.
All right, we can't escape the Apple versus Epic lawsuit. You want to start us off here?
This is week 4 of this, man. Week 4. So Apple and Epic still duking it out, and so there have been some reports that just recently came out about Xbox Game Pass possibly coming to Switch. That rumor's been sparked again. So I guess
that's amazing.
Yeah, I know, it's so wild. So the entire design of Game Pass was to come to as many platforms as possible, just kind of like Stadia, where they want it to be able to transcend onto the iPhone
and of course
and to Android.
Yeah, of course Microsoft wants that, but the part that's different here is that Nintendo is a direct competitor. So,
right.
Would they? And they've said, some people at Nintendo in the past have said, no way is this ever coming to Switch.
Right.
But then other people are like, other people have been known to comment and say like, oh, it could be possible or something like that with the right partnership. And I personally think it's absolutely good for Microsoft, obviously, but I think it could be good for Switch too, because especially with these like high caliber games that won't run on Switch,
right?
Like it totally makes sense. And Switch has already experimented with streaming higher fidelity or like, you know, games that it couldn't actually run natively, like Resident Evil 4, was it? They were doing in Japan.
They also just did Hitman. I actually downloaded that where you stream Hitman 3 onto your Switch, and you can pick between quality of the graphics or whatever, or the frame rate. So you pick your kind of thing, and then you load into the game. So you don't actually download the game at all. It's just you're streaming it the entire time.
Awesome.
So they have dabbled into it. It's very cool. And so if they were to add this, to their system, I mean, I think it could be a huge system seller for them. Because of that mobile aspect, and then also having the built-in controllers and everything else. I mean, this is be huge. So again, this idea has been kind of floated around for a little while. And Phil Spencer of Xbox and Doug Bowser of Nintendo haven't been completely transparent about what's kind of going on behind closed doors. They leave it as like it's unlikely to happen, but we'll see. Like, it could be like one of those things where it's like I don't know. And so it's like Dumb and Dumber, it's like that scene where he's like, so you're saying there's a chance. So
there you go.
That's exactly what this is.
Well, were you going to talk about why, like how this came out? Because there's something in the article where they talk about that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So the article really boils down to, it was a heavily redacted document that was submitted from Nintendo about and really it was about Xbox. And so the only real connection that they have between the two has been the Game Pass and that conversation. So Nintendo wanted it heavily redacted because they didn't want there to be like any kind of leaks to this potentially huge news. So,
but here's the thing: this section of the paperwork, I guess, or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
The news, I guess, or what they talked about is all about getting Game Pass on multiple platforms. That's it. That's all they're talking about in this particular section that Nintendo wanted their information redacted from. So it's very clear that, it's not necessarily saying, yes, it is coming, but there's definitely information in this article about Nintendo working with Xbox, and they didn't want it to get out. So,
for sure.
And it's definitely about Game Pass, so we know that.
Yeah. So, I mean, we could possibly see that happening someday. I mean, we don't know if talks are still happening, maybe that it becomes a reality, but who knows? I mean, again, that's just another cool feature. I mean, I don't know if I'd necessarily say that Nintendo is a direct competitor with Xbox or Microsoft.
In a way they are.
I mean, but they're not, but they know that they're really not. Like they've come out and said, we can't really compete with making, a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X, but we can make something that's different.
Right, but they're still in the game business, and they're still competing for the gamer's dollar.
Right. Oh no, they totally are. But I think that like if they could come to an agreement where they get a little chunk of the change, from the Xbox Game Pass, I think that they'd be probably willing to say, you know what, this is just what we've created. This is our platform. You can play it on here.
Well, I don't know. Where it would hurt them would be for the indie games, basically, because, on Game Pass, there's a lot of indie games, and a lot of those you can buy on Switch. Yeah. So they'd have to have something that would offset that. And then, then there's also the developers who sell stuff on Switch, like, who are also on Game Pass. Like, that's going to cut into their money. So it's definitely complicated.
But you don't have to have Game Pass, like So if you don't have Game Pass on Xbox, you could still buy those games that are on XCloud or on the Game Pass. On the Switch, so if I don't have that, well, no, I'm just saying if I have an Xbox and I don't have Game Pass, but I want to own an indie title like Cuphead or let's say or Haven. Which I know is on there. Mm-hmm. And I want to own those games, but I don't want Game Pass. I can just buy those without it. And same kind of situation with Switch is those games are there, but if I have that option of a subscription, I could do the subscription too. So you have that option still of buying it if you want to. So
well, and obviously they would have to give Nintendo some cut of the actual subscription fee, because if they didn't, why would they even want it on there to begin with? Because it's I'm paying Xbox or Microsoft to play stuff on the Switch.
But it's also another great way to sell your Switch too.
That's true. Well, and I'm sure they don't give anything to Android or iOS. That's what the lawsuit is talking about, is trying to get around that.
Yeah. So
Interesting
we'll see.
stuff.
I know. So this is a crazy lawsuit. We're learning a lot.
There's a lot of really interesting information that's come out about a lot of different companies besides Epic and Apple, which is interesting.
Yeah. I think like 10 or 12 different companies have been called to the table or more. And then they've had to like kind of give their full like disclosure of what's kind of going on, with their company in relation to Apple and Epic, and kind of just, it's wild. So I don't know. We'll see what's going on here. Who knows what?
I see the next item here you have is a SJR hot stock tip.
Yes, it is a hot stock tip. However, there is a full disclaimer. Neither of us are like stock traders or anything like that. That's not our gig.
I don't even own a stock, let alone many stocks that would necessitate a rack.
For sure. But again, this is an investment. You should obviously do the research yourself. Take a look into it. How you want to, because there's always risks. There's risks with any kind of thing. Essentially, you could put it into the market, or you could, go out and buy a lottery ticket. It's sort of the same kind of thing, where there's always risk and there's always that reward or that payoff.
I don't even know what you're talking about. You lost me a long time ago.
Oh, did I? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay. I don't know it. That's how little I know about stocks.
Oh no, I'm just saying, like, there's always risk. There's inherent risk with it when you ever invest into anything. That business could go up and then you're out that money. And it's the same idea with like, buying a lottery ticket. You could hit the numbers, or it could just be, a
So what's
giant
the tip? I want to know so I can go buy some.
Yes. So out of this, and this is an article on investorplace.com. They're saying that the 3 gaming stocks to buy, based upon the experts, is Sony, which their stock has actually risen 48% over the past 12 months. So investing in that, probably a smart decision, especially with the PlayStation 5. What they're saying is that, if they can fix the situation that's going on right now with the supply chain for the PlayStation 5, that number should continue to grow infinitely.
Joy. I would have done that right with the PS5 launch.
Yeah, that probably went up just gangbusters. So then with the second one, it's Activision Blizzard. So this is again Call of Duty, WoW, Candy Crush. This is a studio that's just making hand over fist and money. So it's just, it's a great stock to invest in, because those games right there, those service games will just continue to make that company more and more money, which ultimately in turn makes you money, because it's your stock. And then finally, EA. So EA Sports Games, they're talking about bringing in, they're trying to reach a plateau or trying to reach 500 million users playing their online sports games. And so that's their soccer, their basketball, their football,
sports ball,
everything. Sports ball. This is huge. I mean, it's one of the most competitive games out there. EA has come out with their play. They also have Apex Legends, which has gained huge popularity. It's overshadowed, honestly, in my opinion. I hear more about Apex Legends recently than I've heard about Fortnite or PUBG. And then they also just picked up the Glue Mobile, which would aid to their mobile gaming presence. So that's something that they've kind of lacked a little bit. And now that they picked up Glue Mobile, which has made some pretty big games, I want to say, oh gosh, and pull them up here real quick. But again, they just acquired them. So these are the 3 that they're saying, if you want to invest in kind of gaming, as we've seen, the stock market with explode over GameStop at one point. So this is another one where, people can really, get in before, continues to grow and, kind of gets beyond that point of, getting into the market.
So just to clarify, this is investorplace.com's suggestion. So go there and read the details. Don't listen to us.
Yeah, right, exactly. So let's take a look here. So kind of to go on to Epic, I did want to mention this. So that Mr. game we talked about last week was revealed, and it is NBA 2K21.
Nice.
So this is a big game. So, it's last year's, basketball game that just came out here. I want to say back in like September, October of last year.
Because it's like cars, right? They come out right before the year that they're
exactly
the title. Yeah.
Yep. So this is which is actually kind of really cool. So they're doing a mega sale on Epic. So right now, kind of you take advantage of getting this free game completely free, no strings attached or anything like that. You don't have to have a subscription. You don't have to, have a monthly payment or anything like that with Epic. It's literally a free game. Go make an account. It takes 30 seconds. If you play Fortnite, you more than likely have made an account. All you have to do is just go online and redeem it. But they also have a mega sale going on where they're offering plenty of discounts off of their top tier, like AAA games, like Assassin's Creed Valhalla has gotten severely discounted. Cyberpunk 2077 for the PC, again, which has been one of the best places to play this game without as many bugs as the console systems have. So again, there's been quite a few games that have been heavily discounted. On top of that, they're also giving you a $10 coupon to redeem on any game right now on the Epic Store that's $14.99 or more. So if you buy a game that's $15, you're getting $10 off. That game costs you $5. So there's another also mystery game that is coming later this week. So that'll replace NBA 2K21. But again, these mystery games have been typically huge games. Like, they're not like indie games. So take advantage. Go check out Epic, get that game, redeem it. Even if you don't play sports ball or basketball, it might be something that you'd enjoy, just kind of, thumbing around. You were drunk one night and you're like, you know what, let's play some basketball. Let's go on the horse or something. I don't know. But check it out. It, makes sense just to, get as many free games as you possibly can.
Yeah, you got to build, even just from a collector's standpoint, you want to build that library.
Right. Exactly.
See, my thing, though, is that there's too many of these stores and there's too many free games, and I just can't. You could spend so much time going around every store and getting all of your free shit.
Yeah.
I get that they're using it to get you to come into the store to then hopefully buy things.
Right.
But it would be nice if it just added it automatically to your account.
True.
But that would defeat the purpose from their perspective.
And then, but yeah, no. So right. But check it out. At least get your free game. Get it while you can, right? Because it's only there for a week.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, I saw you add this one after I had already looked at the notes, so I don't know what this is at all, but it sounds really interesting. So
the Normandy is the ship from Mass Effect. So that's the main ship that you're always on, and it makes an appearance in No Man's Sky. It's a playable event through the 31st. So
what?
Yeah, so I guess players can solve puzzles and travel to a few different planets to complete this 5-stage event, and then once you've completed the event, you'll be able to unlock the Normandy as an S-class freighter. It's unfortunate that you won't be able to pilot it yourself, but it's still part of your fleet. It'll be something that people will want to pick up as quick as possible. Cool. Plus, it's only here for 8 more days. So, if you're a fan of Mass Effect and you're still playing No Man's Sky, I really always wanted to check that out ever since they rebuilt it. I know you'd played it, right?
Which? No Man's Sky? Yeah. I platinumed that, as a matter of fact. Can I get a little golf clap?
Yeah, absolutely, of course. Yes.
Platinum. Delicious.
Yes.
Shiny.
Yeah.
I still can't do it as good as Shmed, but that's fine.
Now, did you play it after they took it off, like reworked
I
it completely?
bought it at launch. I supported this game even though everybody else shit on it.
Yeah. It was an overpromise and underdeliver kind of game.
It was, but there was still a lot of fun to be had. I mean, it did drag out for sure, and it got to the point where I was like, okay, I want to finish this game.
Yeah.
And then, of course, months and months and years later, they added all this amazing, awesome shit that I didn't go back and play very much because I'm done with it, basically.
Right. I think next time I see it on sale, I'll probably pick it up because I've always wanted to, and it always looks really great.
It's awesome now. I mean, they got mechs and base building. I did get in there for the base building, and I think I tried out some of the vehicles because I don't even think they had vehicles when I played it. So, they had the ships, obviously. Yeah. But they added a bunch of really cool stuff.
And I think
co-op. You can play co-op too now.
Right, exactly. So I was like, once I pick it up, we should get together. We should do an SJR kind of night where we all, have a planet party or something.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, I have it on Xbox Game Pass, but I still have it on PlayStation. I never sold it because I think it never went back up in value.
Nice.
If I remember correctly, but
I think it got when it first came out, it crashed hard, price wise, dropped like crazy. But then when they re-released it, it went. It's still $60, I want to say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's
maybe I should sell it now that I have it on Xbox or Game Pass. Except it does have VR, which is awesome, and I do have my VR hooked up to my PS5 now. So
That'd be kind of cool to
I should check
check
that
that
out.
back out. Yeah, for sure. Plus, you'll also have like a vintage copy. You know, in 10 years, that might be actually a hot commodity.
It could actually, because people will be like, "Hey, remember when this game was horrible?" And
Yeah.
on the newer printed discs, I bet they don't. You know, it's probably the updated version, right? So like, this is the only way you could actually play like the old crappy original version.
Yep. Exactly. It's like the people that own like the defective like Mario prints from like the 86 when they first came out, and they're like worth like $500,000. So hold on to it. You never know.
It would be like, this would be like if Mario, you booted it up, and in Mario 2 you go through that first door and you fall like a bunch of ways, except there'd be no ground there. Like you just keep falling for the whole game.
An infinite fall game.
Yeah. Collecting coins on your way down.
Right, for sure.
They don't do anything, the coins, but you just collect them. That's part of the game.
Yeah. You're parachuting down and collecting coins.
Yeah. Do you want me to do one of mine here, since you've been getting to do all the news bites, or do you want to just keep going?
No, just keep going. It's all good. Okay. No, we can trade off or whatever. You know, it's all good. So
I do have a soapbox on this next one here.
Oh, yes, of course. Well, we'll hit that for sure. So Tribeca Film Festival announced its official selection of video games for the inaugural Tribeca Games Award.
And where is this Tribeca Film Festival?
This, I think it's in New York.
Okay.
I want to say it's, let me just double check.
Because I've heard of some of the other film festivals, but I don't know if I've heard of Tribeca. But I also not, I don't have my ear to the ground.
Yeah, that's New York. That's what I thought it was. So that's in New York.
Indie film industry.
Yeah. So this is at the Tribeca Film Center in New York.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So this is going to mark the 10th
year. We just lost
one
viewer. I think that person was a Tribeca film person who's like, these idiots.
Yeah, right.
I am out of here.
They know nothing.
Unrefined.
Right.
Undignified.
We're not highbrow. That's for sure. We're not being invited to these.
Well, if they invited me, maybe I'd know what it is.
Yeah, exactly. So anyways, this marks the 10th year that this award has been presented. This started off being with Rockstar's LA Noire, winning this award 10 years ago. And so the nominees that are included is Sable, Kenna, Bridge of Spirits,
woo woo.
Herod Halibut, Lost and Random, Norco, Signalis, The Big Con, and 12 Minutes.
Nice.
Now,
I've only heard of the two, Kenna and 12 Minutes.
Oh, okay. So
it's Sable too, yeah.
Yeah, I want Sable so hard.
Isn't that made by your favorite band or something?
No. This is what?
Oh no, your game is about your favorite band.
It's true, but no, Sable is this trippy, like super artsy, like desert. Like you're like, imagine if you were like a what are they? Not Jawas. Who are the Sand People? Does it just Sand People? Okay, cool. Yeah. I was like, do they have a race name, or are they just called the Sand People?
No, they do, and now you're pushing my Star Wars fandom. I should know that, and I can't think of it right now off the top of my head.
Oh boy!
Take my Star Wars card.
Yeah, right. We both lose our Star Wars card today.
I'll think about it. You caught me off guard.
Sorry, my bad. But anyways, it's like that. It's
Sand
like a race
People is the derogatory name for them.
Yeah, it's really kind of. That's what
they do. That's what they call them in a lot of the or some of the movies at least.
Yeah.
Tusken Raiders. There you go.
Okay, there we go. Okay, nice. Thank you.
And I didn't look that up, by the way. That just popped in my head. But that's how long my brain takes sometimes, especially on a Sunday morning.
Right, exactly. But no, like in Sable, you play kind of as like a Tusken Raider, kind of like a nomad, and you're exploring this desert scene from like you like use like a wind boat or whatever like that. That like you like paraglide over like sand dunes and shit like that. It's so cool. I cannot wait for that game. But anyways, these games are in the running for awards that honors sort of an unreleased game for its potential for excellence in art and storytelling through design, artistic mastery, and highly immersive worlds.
Wait, what? Did you say unreleased?
Unreleased, correct.
This awards an unreleased game for its potential for excellence in art and storytelling through design, artistic mastery, and highly immersive worlds.
Right.
I don't like that.
I believe what it's essentially calling your attention to a game that has been in the works for many.
Do you realize that No Man's Sky should have won this award? It absolutely should have won this award. And then
it may have.
Do they take it back? if they decide after release that it wasn't warranted. That seems so silly to me. Like, I should get an award for my potential of being an amazing podcast host. Because sometime down the line, that might happen. So give me an award. I don't know. It seems silly to me. Like, I get when games get awards based on, how they're actually made and everything. What does this even do? Like, they see a trailer and they're like, this could be good.
I think there's been trailers. I think there's been talk with developers. I think there's probably been closed demos done behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I think that it's
an unfinished product. That's so silly.
But I think it's the potential that they see and the storytelling and what's available.
But does
at the
that
moment.
matter, or does it matter what they actually deliver? Because to me, that's what matters, right? Basically, you're awarding hype here at this point. Like, here's your hype award. Good job. Yeah. It doesn't matter if you produce crap, because you're not going to get an award for that.
But I believe this also is paired with, so there's a digital experience as part of the Tribeca at Home virtual offering, which will have a portion of the festival where fans will get to play hands-on digital demos for these emerging and established creators. So I believe what it's saying there is that, yes, these are the games that have been nominated. These games will be appearing at this. There may be a demo that you'll be able to get your hands on for an online experience through this.
That's cool, but I still don't see why they are giving awards to games that based on potential.
I think, again, it's all about games that are coming out here this year. That's
good.
Again,
that's a showcase, but that's not an award ceremony. Like, it doesn't.
I think that they just pick ones that I don't know, that are kind of, I don't know, fuck it, I don't know, dude.
But it's an award though, right? They're giving out. Are they going to give out an award?
I don't work for Tribeca. I don't know. I'm just reporting the news.
It says marks the 10th year this award has been presented. So and they're nominees. So yes, they're planning on giving an award to. It's not just a showcase of things that are coming. Like, that's different. This is an actual.
Right. I mean, it's a hype trophy. Yes, you're right. It's a hype trophy.
Okay, thank you. Also, we're calling this episode Hype Trophy.
Hype trophy. Hell yeah. But there's going to actually be live performances too, and that'll also include music from Red Dead 2. So there'll be an outdoor concert.
I'm not shitting on the ceremony. I think this sounds great, and I would like to watch it, and maybe we should cover it. I just don't like the hype trophy.
For sure.
I think it's silly.
I think that there's not a whole lot of, they don't offer, when I'm looking at it, I don't see them doing a whole lot of video games. Like, this is one of the few awards that they're doing that revolves around video games. Mm-hmm. So,
and I do like that too. Bring them in. Yeah. Bring the games in.
Yeah. So the festival starts here from June 9th through the 20th. So I think majority of that, again, is still going to be the film festival itself, but there will be like maybe one day where it's video games, or maybe an afternoon or something. We'll tune in for it and we'll report back.
But you did, so you did say this has an online component, right? So we can like watch it at home or something?
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Or some of it. Sweet.
Yeah. Possibly even get a hands-on digital demo.
This is going to collide with E3, so we probably won't talk about it.
There's going to be a lot of stuff going on around that time. Yeah.
I'm excited. Maybe we'll put it on the back burner. We'll see.
All right, tell me about this next one.
At the very least, we're going to go back and tell you the winner of the hype trophy.
The hype award, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
So look forward to that in mid-June or late June.
Yeah. Hype trophy.
That's a long one. All right. So you put this on here. Let's talk about it. PS5 outsells Xbox Series X, but is it the full story?
We don't know.
Lay it on me.
So the PlayStation 5 has reported that it's outsold the Series X almost 2-1. Actually, in fact, it is 2-1. So the full picture, however, is not transparent. So in the first quarter, PlayStation 5 has roughly sold 2.83 million units, while the Series X has only sold 1.31 million units. But the bigger question has to be asked, what's production looking like? Because at the end of the day, if production is, low for Xbox and higher for PlayStation, then, it may be that actually Xbox in percentage wise is outselling the PlayStation. But again,
okay, wait, I want to stop you right there, because I was reading this last night and I had to reread your notes just to make sure that I understood what I thought about this. Now, I'm arguing with you a lot today, so this is good. Should be good conversation. We're not just agreeing on everything. So why does it matter how many were made? Because we're talking about how many were sold, and it's irrefutable, isn't it, that Xbox sold this amount and PS4 sold twice as many of those, or double that, and I don't see the correlation here, because either way they outsold them, right?
It all matters in the retrospect to how many consoles were created. Because if you say, yes, there are, but okay, I'll put it this way. I have 1.4 million Xboxes, okay?
Mhm.
I have sold of those Xboxes 1.31 million of those units. So I have, and so that's how much I was able to sell to people.
Did you say,
PlayStation,
was that all of them that you just said? Like,
no,
let's say
there's a portion, there's a small portion that, let's say, hasn't been sold, or they're shipping, or whatever the case may be. But again, the idea is that, yes, have they outsold them? Yeah, but if you have more in stock, if you have been able to produce more, of course you're going to sell more, because you have that
they've
ability.
been more readily available, is what you're saying.
Exactly. So if we just look at it like both companies made 5 million of each. So if you have 5 million PlayStations and 5 million Xboxes, and they came out these numbers, absolutely, fucking hand over fist, PlayStation is schooling Xbox. But without knowing what that total number of production wise, it's hard to be able to gauge that, because you're saying, yes, they sold it, but I don't know how many of them do they sell. If you've got 131 million units and you only made 135 million or 1.35 million units, I mean, it looks like you pretty much sold 96% of your
yeah, but I don't know if that really matters, because first of all, if you're just taking it as the statement that PlayStation sold more units than Xbox, then it's, like I said, it's irrefutable. But if
you look at the percentage wise of
but they're not, though. In the article, they're not. They're just saying that they sold.
But there's not transparent enough. I feel like there's a way that you could flip this to say, is that really the bigger picture? Because if
that would be a production problem, though, right? Because like that's part of creating and selling a console, and if Xbox couldn't, create as many units, if Xbox couldn't create as many units, then I understand what you're saying, but still, PlayStation still wins and has still sold more units. Period.
Right, Xbox. Because it's more readily available. But I'm just saying, we don't know the full picture. We don't know what production looks like. It's hard to be able to say, yeah, they're really outselling them, because the percentage wise, they may not be. Again, if there's been fewer made of Xbox than there has been of PlayStation, the percentage of what's being sold could really translate to Xbox's outselling. Technically, if you figure the same percentage of users would be buying the Xbox at the same rate that the PlayStation is being made, possibly the Xbox would be selling them out.
So you're saying that Xbox is possibly hurt more by the low production issue than PlayStation, and that could be the explanation.
Right, correct.
So Xbox has hit the ceiling of what they can sell because they can't produce more. So if they had produced more, it's possible that they may have sold as many as Sony.
Correct.
Okay. Well, I think that's bad
just
production.
My theory. I know it's terrible, but I mean, it's the shortage of that chips. It's the same chip that everyone's using for computers, that they use for cars, that they use for fucking PlayStation. For everyone, pretty much uses that same fucking chip. And
well, you could say the same. Wait, hold on. Going back, you could make the same argument about PlayStation. They might have sold 10 times more consoles if they didn't have this shortage. So I mean, and if it's the same chip, don't they have the same? At least that part of the equation is the same, right? Where they both have that same limitation. They're having a hard time acquiring the chip. Maybe Sony made a better deal or got a bigger amount of those chips
before the shortage.
Yeah, that could have been something like that. But either way, they've still made and sold more.
Right. You're absolutely right. They have. Technically, yes.
Or actually, I guess we don't know if they've made more because we don't know. They haven't said the actual numbers, right?
Correct.
Right. Which is
correct.
Odd.
We don't know that production. Yeah. It's really strange. But, without that, it's hard to determine how successful the sales have been because, again, you could be, I don't know.
Except there is a number sold, though. And that is twice as many.
Yeah, right.
So there's that.
It's but percentage wise, it's hard to quantify that. So we'll never know. We'll never know.
Funny. You and Schmed always have like a text message going back and forth about like he so badly wants you to like buy a PS5, and you're like no, because you really want to buy an Xbox Series X, but you're also kind of on the fence a little bit, but not really.
And we'll talk about that here in a minute when we talk about the new about Starfield, and then it could be the whole reason I actually buy the Xbox is because of Bethesda, and we'll get to that in a few moments. But you're right, he desperately wants me to buy a PlayStation 5.
But anyway, so all I'm saying is it's funny because was it him that he put this article in the chat, and then you guys in the text message, and then you guys had like a big long text thread about it. So we got to get Shred on here. And I tried to do some justice because I think I agree with him on this article, but maybe we should do like a whole show on it sometime. Get him back and have a good time.
Absolutely. absolutely. He also kind of shit on Game Pass a little bit. So
He did.
I
have some gripes about that, about what he said about that too. But anyway, see, that's why we do this. So it's fun, like to talk about all these fun video game issues with our friends.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. But again, if you're still in the market for one of the newer consoles, again, we've given this tip out many times before, but follow those major retail stores on Twitter and their other social medias. Give them a call once in a while. They'll be able to let you know the next time they're going to receive stock, so that way you can get out there and try to get yourself a new system. Don't pay the scalper rate. Don't pay more than what the console is what it's worth. Don't give in to those bastards. For sure.
And just to clarify, I have said this on the show before, but that is exactly what I did, was follow these purchase or like groups on Twitter, like IGN deals and things like that. And they will tweet if they find something like, oh, this store has it, and you have to go like right away. So you have to have your alerts on your phone. If you see something that pops up that says, this website has Xboxes or this site has PS5s, you got to go right away. And that's it. Got to be committed.
Yeah,
or just wait, because there aren't a lot of good exclusives anyways for either system. For next gen.
Right.
There's plenty of great exclusives for both systems, but not next gen, except for the robot game that comes with PS5 for free.
Yeah,
for free. All right, this is crazy. Netflix is eyeing the video game scene. I guess it's not much of a surprise. This is an article from Polygon. So you can look up the details on there, but it's basically that they are headhunting for veteran game industry executives, and apparently Netflix is considering a bundle of games via subscription, similar to like Apple Arcade.
Yeah, very cool, very cool. I wonder if they'll make their own controller, like a Wi-Fi controller that's compatible with
I hope not.
like a dongle.
I don't know. I hope what they do is allow the platform to handle the controller input. So like my Bravia TV, for example, I can sync a PlayStation controller to it, and then any apps, like if there's Google Play apps in the store that with games and things like that, I can use that controller if it's supported. I would love to see Netflix just have Android TV and Android, whatever platform it is, have support for the controllers that plug into that platform already. And that would be amazing. If I could just turn on my TV, go into Netflix, and then, turn on my controller and start playing a game, that's Stadia right there.
Yeah.
No
I want to say,
anything.
Didn't they at one point in the past, Netflix rent video games? I think for like a percent. I
feel like they did.
When they used to do like the actual, because there's the streaming side of it, and then they have the actual, they'll send you a disc or whatever like that. And I want to say that I thought video games was lumped into there for a higher cost at one point back in the day. So
I feel like they might have dabbled in it, but I don't think it took off. And I think that's what gave GameFly the space to actually get into that. I think they might have tried it in certain regions or something. And I think they realized it's not very lucrative, because then you have to get into the used game market, because now you have, 80 copies of No Man's Sky, and nobody likes it, so now we have to sell these at a loss, basically. Like, it's a whole business. So it's very complicated. They probably didn't want to deal with it, and they probably made the right choice, because they decided to go into streaming instead of the mail business.
So this is exciting. I mean, they're looking to do more with interactive entertainment. I know over the last few years they've done a few of their movies and TV shows where you can make choices within the actual show.
Bandersnatch.
Bandersnatch was great. They did one with what's that? It's oh shit, forget his name. He's like explorer, like a wildlife kind of guy, like a Jeff Irwin kind of.
Yeah, I forget what his name.
Grills. Bear fucking Grills.
Oh,
that's the motherfucker. Yeah. And you're traversing through this Amazon river or whatever like that. He's like, well, I could go this way and go against these crocodiles, or I could take my way into the jungle, which I could face
on the rickety bridge.
Yeah, you're right. And then he falls, and then he's like, oh, now I've got to climb my way back up the side of the mountain.
That was probably really fun to shoot.
It probably was.
It was probably like him acting out like a video game, basically.
It was probably a nightmare for editing.
Oh, I'm sure.
What do you mean we have to shoot it there's 8 movies going on simultaneously? Oh, that's fun. Thanks, guys. Yeah, that would probably be just a giant. So this will be really cool. So there's not a whole lot to go off. This is just obviously the infancy. Like they're looking at something to get started there. They don't really have any necessarily plans other than what they'd want to do is create that bundle. But we'll see, what kind of, if there's any kind of exclusives to that, what kind of services are offered in this cloud kind of based gaming, we'll see, that kind of transpire here. I think it'd be really cool, kind of like that, almost like you'd be renting how streaming works. They'll put things there for a couple weeks and then they'll pull it off, or like a couple months at a time.
Like Game Pass.
Exactly. And so we'll see what happens. I don't know.
They have steep competition, obviously. I mean, Google is the biggest or one of the biggest companies in the world, and they aren't pulling it off very well. So it'll be interesting to see what they do, but it's got to be very, very competitive.
You know what'd be fucking hysterical? Is it that
Netflix
the
just
guy
came in and did it right?
No, well, I was gonna say if Netflix offered the job to that dude that just left Google for Stadia, that head designer that we were talking about last week in the notes, and they get that dude in there. What was his name? John Justice or something?
Oh yeah.
Dude, that would be so funny if they brought him in there. It was like
they
all
just
right,
don't
guys.
pay attention to the news at all.
Yeah.
They don't watch our show.
Yeah, right. Oh, that'd be too good. Too good.
That's hilarious.
Tell me about Metro.
Yeah, so this isn't really about Metro per se, but it's the headline is Metro Exodus on PC now supports the PS5 controller's fancy triggers.
Woohoo!
This is from
the haptics, right?
Kotaku. Yep. So the haptic feedback and then also the reactive triggers. So I just thought this was really cool because it's the first I think we've heard of a PC game taking advantage of the next gen controller's features. Yeah. A lot of times when you see PC games and you plug in a PlayStation controller or an Xbox, within, I don't know, maybe like the last 15 years or something, they started including the rumble, but there was a point like a long time ago where I feel like they didn't even do rumble. Yeah. So it's kind of cool to see PC games taking or utilizing these features. But it makes sense because it's just a piece of hardware. But I feel like it's unexpected to see them go the extra mile to support these features because they don't have to, and they're not, and they can't assume that most players are going to have a DualSense. So it's kind of just like a nice thing for people who have it to be able to experience that. And so Metro is, the game that they tried it in on PC first, apparently.
Nice.
Yeah. So I just thought that was kind of cool.
Very cool.
That's what I edited.
Nice. So kind of to carry on here. Tony Hawk, possibly new game coming out.
Oh, what?
Yeah, there was a leak, and it wasn't plugged very well. So we possibly getting, Tony Hawk 3 and 4, remasters pretty soon because, I still want to see Bam. I want Margera to be in my goddamn game already. He was one of my favorites on the roster. And also he was in Jackass. I mean, I fucking loved Bam. Mm-hmm. So still waiting for him to be a playable character. They haven't actually done any DLC for Tony Hawk, which I thought was pretty strange. Tony
Hawk 1 and 2 remastered.
Yeah, Tony Hawk 1 and 2. Yeah, it's been about 9 months, and there's really not been a whole lot added to it. So, I think
they did revamp the multiplayer, from what I heard. Schmed was talking about that because there's a lot of awesome stuff like graffiti and things like that on local co-op, but you couldn't do, or not local co-op, but local versus or whatever. But a lot of that you couldn't do online, and it was just a janky experience. But he had mentioned that they had updated it and made it better. Nice. I'll have to jump back in there at some point. But I was going to mention the drummer from CKY. Did you ever listen to them? I mean, only through like the Bam Margera, like Jackass stuff, because they're kind of associated. They had CKY videos and stuff where they basically did the same, Jackass kind of shit. Nice. So the drummer from the band, he let slip that great way to make money is buying the band touring and then licensing your music for TV commercials, movies, and video games. At which point he mentioned that he had been, I guess their band had originally been in Tony Hawk 3, and he let slip that there's a new Tony Hawk game that will feature music from their band. Kind of like, I don't know if he accidentally let it slip, but it kind of came out. So looks like creators of Tony Hawk, which I guess is Activision, has been in talks with musicians from 3 and 4, I guess, about purchasing that license again. So that'll be exciting, to get those games also added. So Now, do you
Hopefully
think do you think that'll come as Tony Hawk 3 and 4 remastered, or do you think they'll be separate?
I think they'll probably come together. I hope they come together.
I could see them coming separate.
And 2.
They put 1 and 2 together because they're both relatively small games in comparison to 3 and 4, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
But I feel like I feel like they could do one of those. Oh, we've got a slightly bigger game here. We could probably do like each of them for $30 or something.
$30, yeah.
Although was 1 and 2 $60 or no? It was only $40.
No,
right?
1 and 2 is $40. Yeah, it's $40, and then it was $10 more if you wanted the upgrade to the 5 version.
Yep, that's right. Which I ended up doing right when I was done playing it, basically.
Yep. And then we found out that when you have the PlayStation 4 or the PlayStation 5, you can't play together.
That is so dumb. They better fix
super
that.
Annoying. Yeah, right? So dumb. But Bethesda, we're gonna just chugging along here. With E3 right around the corner, this is crazy. So like we talked about last week, another story came out that IGN reported here that Starfield, the new sci-fi IP from Bethesda, is going to be an Xbox exclusive. So
what?
Yeah, I mean, I believe this is still technically another rumor, but they're like, when you're hearing it from multiple sources,
a news outlet has now confirmed it, though.
Yeah,
I think is what it is.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, like we talked about last week, this was going to be that brand new IP from Bethesda, which again is now owned by Microsoft, was going to be an Xbox and PC exclusive title. This has been confirmed. So, which is crazy. So, with E3 right around the corner, I'm thinking, because Microsoft has been silent and so has Bethesda. So, like, no one's really like from their own company said yay, nay, like, we're still getting kind of hearsay, and like you said, the news news place confirmed it, but yeah. I don't think if
I'm looking it up. Hold on, it's in the article. It says where it was.
I think it might have been this
Game Beats. Okay. Cites sources familiar with the decision in its report.
Gotcha.
That Starfield is exclusive to Xbox and PC. Period. But but you're right. Microsoft and Bethesda themselves haven't come out and said it. So
yeah,
I mean, I think we can
yay or nay.
We can see where this is going. We are just weeks away from E3, where in the next story you talk about Bethesda and Microsoft hosting a joint press conference at E3.
Yeah,
there it is. So, there it is. I guarantee you.
Exactly. So I mean, what we're and so this will ultimately be we got a banner. Ban that sumbitch. Get that sumbitch out of here. You're not welcome here, buddy.
Yeah, we don't want your ads or your fake viewers.
Yeah, right. But anyways, so if this ends up being exclusive, again, that kind of leaves to spectate. What about the rest of Bethesda's lineup? I mean, do those also then become exclusives? For Fallout, Wolfenstein, Dishonored, The Elder Scrolls. I know that initially the game that just came out, Deathloop, I believe that just came out here just a couple days ago, or is coming out here in a couple of days. That game was supposed to be exclusive only for the PlayStation, and then when Microsoft bought Bethesda, they changed it and said it's only going to be a limited time exclusive. It will be coming to Xbox. So, again, this just points in the direction that they could definitely be moving where it's just exclusive. If that is the line that's drawn in the sand,
that's a big line. So
yeah, it's a big line.
It surprised me. I'll be honest. We've had this conversation. I don't know if we've had it online or just offline, but we've had it multiple times about Bethesda and exclusivity, because that's a big decision for you for Game Pass, right?
Yeah.
Which makes
just
sense.
Owning an Xbox. Yeah, just owning an Xbox in general.
That's what I meant. Yeah, it being on Game Pass is a big decision for you, like pushing you towards Xbox, which totally makes sense because you love Bethesda. I love Bethesda as well. I did not think that they were going to flip this quick. I thought any game that had already been announced, because I think it had already been announced that it was coming to all platforms, because
I want to say in 2018 is when they first started talking about Starfield, and then it kind of went radio silent just because they previewed it. But
they haven't shown anything from it. But I thought like the initial trailer had like the different platforms at the bottom or something, like PlayStation, Xbox, PC.
Right.
But obviously that doesn't mean very much. But I just figured, it's already out there in the ethos. Like, they've already talked about it coming to PlayStation, so they'll keep that promise. And then, any future IPs, maybe they'll do completely console exclusive on Xbox. But no, they're like, this huge, massive game is perfect to draw the line in the sand and say, no, we're exclusive to Xbox now.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think you're right. I think this is basically them saying even things we've already announced or that you would assume are coming out, like the next Fallout and all these giant franchises. Even Doom. Do you think is Doom going to be?
Oh yeah, that's true. I forgot. I completely forgot about Doom. Yeah, that would.
But
suck.
Imagine how that's huge. Like we talked about the acquisition in general being huge, but to draw that line in the sand and say this is exclusive now, you have to have an Xbox or a PC to play this.
Yeah,
that's a big deal.
Yep.
So it's going to be interesting.
The xCloud, it started to, that beta kicked off a couple weeks ago, and with streaming directly to computers. I mean, it kind of does point in retrospective, like, do I need to own a brand new Xbox? Could I just get away with playing, streaming directly to my computer? I would say that's a good thought if you have great internet, and if you have unlimited internet, then sure, that's a great idea.
Stream the games onto your old Xbox.
Right. True.
And theoretically, they could probably release an app for like the 360 or even maybe the OG Xbox where you could play games from the Series X and S on your old Xbox via streaming. Because all it is basically a display, window.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I would say that theoretically, I would love to be able to do that, but I don't think my internet would be able to handle that. Nor do I. I've got a cap on my internet. It's not unlimited, unfortunately.
The data thing is the big deal.
Yeah,
because the speed isn't really that bad. I mean, you can if you're not at 4K, Dolby surround sound. It's if you're not at those things, then I think you're only looking at 20 megabits.
Yeah.
So you should be all right. But that's okay.
Yeah, but with caps on, internet space and everyone working from home, it does kind of tax the system, and then you end up, causing yourself like an arm and a leg, for that kind of stuff. So I don't know. It'd be the reason why I'd want to get an Xbox is because, then I could just own those games. Mm-hmm. I could download them directly, and then I don't have to stream them or anything like that. Just that one hit. So I don't know. We'll have to see. Obviously, that's a couple weeks away, and we'll be getting to that pretty soon. But maybe it's time that those PS bros stop shitting all over Xbox if that's the case.
I'm a PS bro, but I'm also I'm just a gamer bro. I like them all.
Yep.
But I think I do like PlayStation quite a lot, and I do think they have a lot to offer, and I think they've been kicking ass over the last few years, and I do think that Xbox is a formidable opponent, especially with this Game Pass thing. I think they're really killing it. So
yeah,
I'm excited. This is what I'm talking about, Justin. All this competition is going to bring out it's only good for the gamers. We're going to get all these cool services, and prices are going to go down. I feel like with this Bethesda thing, Sony's only logical or best logical move anyway is to include PlayStation Now with PS Plus. That's they got to do that after this, because that opens up so many games and first party, exclusive things, and they got to do something to compete with Game Pass for sure.
Right. Oh, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But kind of just to continue on here at the news. I mean, we'll know more about A3 in the next couple of weeks, but we could sit here and twiddle our thumbs and theorize a bunch of stuff, but we don't know yet. And but we will hear very soon. I'm very excited for
fun
that.
Though.
Yeah, hell yeah, it is. But Resident Evil, we got a little bit of news to talk about that. Been some new mods. There's been some discussion about the scariness and also some interesting weapons there. So I just want to kind of hit all of that right now. So
hit it.
They did rebalance Resident 8 after feedback that Resident Evil 7 was crazy scary. And so because 7 was so extremely terrifying, Capcom took that information and just wanted to bring the overall scares of 8 down significantly. So they wanted to be more balanced. And I can confirm, I mean, playing both games, I would say that in the first 2 hours of Resident Evil 7, way more jump scares. I was I felt fearful the entire time just going in this little house. And I think it adds because it was claustrophobic at times. And then just the surprises get you. It was wild. But Resident Evil 8, I don't feel like I jumped nearly at all. There were times where I was like, whoa, that was a little frightening, but it wasn't like 7 where I was like, holy shit, I was shaking my entire desk and freaking out. And also in 8, you it feels more adventure-y kind of feel. I was excited to go to every house and try to get every secret out of there or whatever, or like get every herb or the gunpowder or whatever. But in like 7, I wanted to like get out of that house as quick as possible. And in 8, you don't really have that villain stalking you. I mean, if you've played the first section or whatever like that, you know that lady Domineska or whatever her name is, she does follow you for a while. But eventually comes to a point where you have to fight her. She's one of the bosses, and so then you
I
beat
guess
her,
you've already said it.
right? You beat her, so then eventually she stops chasing you, and you really don't have anything else chasing you throughout the entire game, which is it kind of is it is a little bit of a letdown in that regard, because I do miss having that big motherfucker chase you around.
Horrifying.
Project X or whatever his name, or Mr. X or whatever. Yeah. But also, with some of the with playthrough of the game, I know we talked about this last time with the CP. You can buy a bunch of different mods and weapons and everything else, and for unlimited ammo and whatever. But they also actually included Darth Maul's red lightsaber. It literally, so you can literally create a lightsaber in the game, and it's super cheap to buy.
That's so weird.
So it's so crazy. So like the minute you unlock the Duke, which is that big guy that's in the cart or whatever like that sells you shit, it'll be in that cart area. You could buy it directly from him for like 250 gold. It's cheaper than buying. Yeah, it's cheaper than buying one shotgun shell. And I think it's already maxed out. Like you can't like increase its damage or anything like that. It's so OP. It's crazy.
When ridiculous. So do you have to basically beat the game to get that many points, or
so you have to beat? Yeah, so the way that you get it is kind of pretty. You've got to beat the game once, which will unlock the CP. Yeah, so you got to unlock it. So you got to beat the game once, which unlocks the CP, and then you can buy the mercenaries mode, and then you've got to play through all the mercenary modes, and you've got to get a rank of SS or higher.
Oh, okay, that seems like that's a lot to do.
It is a little bit more challenging. I think there's like 8 chapters to it, so like you just have to do that, and you got to get that high rank.
Not that it's challenging per se, but I didn't know if you could like just play through part of the game and earn that CP and then buy it before you even finish the game, because that would be silly.
Right? No, you cannot do that.
Yeah, so you have to do a lot of things to not necessarily super complicated, but there's a lot of stuff to do before you can unlock silly mode.
There are several, and there's like some of the guns that are available too, and then like you can get like a Tommy gun. There's like the super old westerny style gun.
Tommy gun.
Yeah. Yeah, right. I love the mask.
Yep. I love how you get my references.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, of course, Jim Carrey.
We've had several of these exchanges on this episode.
But like there's like this old western, it's almost like cartoony, like almost from like Roger Rabbit, nice. Like where like this like obnoxiously long like Magnum kind of like western gun or whatever with a huge barrel on it. But it's so funny. But anyways, you have to beat the game at the highest difficulty, like hardcore like mode, which I guess you just get shredded to pieces.
You'd think that's what you'd need to do to get the lightsaber. Right,
because the lightsaber like obliterates things. Like you just touch something and it dies.
Right.
So I don't know. I'm looking forward. I probably will actually dabble back into Resident Evil 8 just because of the different weapons and trying everything out. I think that'd be fun. I'll report back. But then there was also recently a mod that you had added here.
Yes, I love these mods.
Yeah, they're crazy.
So this one is I just was flipping through my newsfeed and I saw this, and basically the Lady D, whatever, her hat, basically this is a mod that somebody made on PC where every time you look at her hat grows larger. So like, I don't know if that means you can look away, look away, look away and like keep doing that. Yeah. They didn't show that. It's basically just like each encounter, her hat got larger. So I don't know if that were the case, but I'm talking like fills up the room large. Like if you go look for this mod, like Lady Dimitrescu's hat in Resident Evil, then you'll see it. It's hilarious. Like the screenshot I have in the notes is just like her walking up the stairs, and it fills up like the entire like view.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's crazy huge. Like you can't see the stairs underneath her or anything like that, or the wall behind her. Like the hat eclipses everything.
It's like the parachute game from kindergarten or whatever. Where everyone lifts up the parachute and you run under. It looks that big in this shot.
It's wild. Yeah. I kind of wish I had this game on PC now.
Well, maybe
for all
it'll
the
come
mods and everything.
Yeah, maybe the mods will come to PlayStation like they kind of did for some Bethesda games before.
Yeah. But then you have to pay for those mods. Did you ever see that on Skyrim? It's so stupid.
It is stupid. Unless you really want Thomas the Tank Engine as the flying dragons.
Right? Oh, that'd be kind of cool.
It's hilarious. Have you seen it?
No, I've not.
Oh, you got to look that up. That's good. Thomas the Tank Engine in Skyrim. All right. Well, yeah. Anyways, I just added that because I thought it was fun and it was a nice way to wrap up the Resident Evil stuff.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Giant hats.
I love it.
All
Giant hats.
Let's keep things moving with the Shooter Roundup. Giant hats.
Ooh, nice. I wasn't even thinking of that. I always just get really wrapped up into the music, and then I'm like, all right, shooters.
Get my shooters up. Pew, pew, pew.
Yeah, right. Yeah, then when we got to that part where we cut off, I'm like, oh shit, I was supposed to be thinking of something. Nope, I didn't know anything.
That's my thing. You keep trying to steal it.
I'm sorry, my bad.
That's okay.
This is really just gonna be Overwatch. This is gonna be me shitting all over it. So if you
let's watch some
Overwatch,
gameplay video while you're shitting on it.
Yeah, please do, because that'll probably take the distraction away. So yeah, this is just some Overwatch 1. Oh, this is me trolling people in their camp.
All right, complain about it.
Yes, I will. So the devs behind Overwatch and its sequel previewed the future for the game on Thursday, and the changes have left a lot of people either confused, angry, or both. There are tons of outrage about this game from a lot of pro players out there. Because essentially what they're doing is they're deleting a job from Overwatch. So you have right now the scheme is 2-2-2. So it's 2 tanks, 2 DPS, and then 2 healers or supports. And ultimately what's coming down to it is they've not been able to make Overwatch's tanking fun or enjoyable at all. So they are deciding that they're just going to delete one of the tank roles, which is crazy. So this and what it's going to essentially do is mean that every main tank out there, you have security. Anyone that's playing an off tank, however, which is like myself and a lot of the pro players, I'm not saying I'm a pro player, but just like a lot of people that prefer, right, that play the off tank to kind of like pull the heat from the main tank, you know, it's gone. Like they won't be able to play that class anymore, because no one will, you know, your party won't survive if you're trying to rock, you know, a Roadhog or if you're trying to rock a Zarya or a Diva or even Hammond. Those characters, they're not going to survive. It's really going to be about shield mechs, and so you're looking at Reinhardt, Sigma, and Orisa. And those will be the 3 main tanks that people will be playing constantly. And that's what the game is going to change into. And everyone fucking hates it. No one asked for Blizzard to just delete a class.
And they're the kings of balance. I mean, you're saying that they couldn't find the balance for the character, basically, so they're going to delete it?
Yeah, they couldn't for the class base.
Sorry, yeah.
Right, yeah, because what they initially had it as an open queue. So initially when this game came out, you could play 6 characters of whoever you wanted. You can play 6 Winstons, which is the giant monkey guy, or 6 Divas or whatever. Yeah, 6 Winstons. But so like that's what you could do. You could literally just, you know, have fun and play it that way. But then it like competitive became stupid. So then they're like, well, we'll instigate like a 2-2-2 policy, which was that role queues. And so there's been a lot of like strategy that's been developed, like with like certain combos and everything else. And the meta right now is to use Reinhardt and Zarya. Like that's the meta. That's the strongest comp right now for tank pairings. And essentially they're doing away with anything, you know, if you've trained that way, if you've, you know, worked your ass off to like learn how to play that properly, like that's all going out the window.
And again, let's just say again that this is, you know, this affects pros directly. It's like people who have, like you said, spent countless hours practicing and learning all these you know, ins and outs of how this works, and now they just have to basically retrain themselves.
Not even that, they lose their position. I mean, because what it is right now, it's right now it's 6v6, and soon it'll be 5v5, and that 5v5 really ultimately means that they're out of job.
Right.
And yeah, so I mean that sucks. That's just kind of like fucking bullshit.
And you know, you could make the case like, okay, well, this is, you know, it's a game and blah blah blah, but you know, if they made this game to be a sport,
Right.
You know,
exactly.
when they designed
Imagine
this
if-
game, it was a sport. So like they know that it's not just a game. It's also, you know, people's livelihoods.
Right. I mean, think about like it's like in basketball, there's always 5 people against 5 people. Like imagine
Right.
if basketball is like, well, let's just change it to 4 versus 4, like 4 versus 4.
Yeah. How
I
many
can't say
people
4.
on the team are going to get? How many people on the team are going to get canned then? Right.
Right. Exactly. So it's kind of ridiculous. So that's what this is. You know, that's what this is happening, and a lot of people are really raging about it. So because again, it really drastically reduces the amount of fun that other people get while playing this game. You know, I myself don't prefer to play a shield tank. Like I am more of an off tank person. I enjoy that mobility, the ability to, you know, screen into the back line and, you know, pull hate and a lot of threat off a lot of our team. And that's the idea of the off tank is you're there to distract, to, you know, to counter, you know, a lot of these other tanks or other heroes or DPS that you can really like, you know, ruin their day.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, that's gone. Now that presentation also showed some new maps. So obviously, like I said, there's a lot of things that we're really angry about with this deleting of a class. Think it's really stupid to go down. This is a huge change and not one that anyone really asked for, like I said, but they did show off in that 2.5-hour presentation 4 new maps that are going to making their way into Overwatch 2 exclusively, and a new mode called Push, which was pretty interesting. But this was going to be, so it's going to show, they showed off New York City, Rome, Toronto, and Monte Carlo. And they honestly, the maps look great, but they didn't look different enough to me to think this is a sequel. Like it honestly just looked like the same Overwatch that I you know played the last 5 years, and no real big changes, and that was really disappointing. Like what they did show was some interesting changes to the UI. It looks a little bit more slick, but ultimately it looked identical. Like what I'm showing here is Overwatch 1, and it looked roughly identical to Overwatch 1. And I don't know, it just, to me, it's not what I'm looking forward to.
They've been working on that UI for 5 years, so give them some credit.
Just you. Right. Yeah. So it was kind of a letdown. You know, a lot of people walked away from that just feeling very angry and disappointed. And again, Call of Duty is another kind of these shooter games that, you know, people play. Fortnite's another one, and these maps change all the time. The content changes all the time in these kind of games, and they've not added anything in the past 2 years except for skins that are overpriced and honestly a little ridiculous at times, and you know, it's just flashy, but you never get to see those skins. Like, you know, the thing is, when you're in Fortnite, you don't play first person, you play third person.
Right.
And so you get to see that skin that you're wearing. But when you're in Overwatch, you pick the skin and it's first person. You never get to see your skin.
Just your sleeves.
Right, exactly. and the weapon, I suppose. And then like if you get the, you know, the best kill of the match, then you get to see your character for a split second in that outfit, and then it goes to the first person camera view that you had.
Right.
So it's a little letdown. You know, like again, they're not adding anything to the original game. Production for the second game for Overwatch 2 looks like at best late 2022. It's been delayed significantly.
Wow.
They're really still in the, you know, the design of the first or the second game. Who knows? You know, honestly, this feels like it could have been an expansion or, you know, something tied to the original game. It really does not feel like it's fresh or
a major
innovative
update for one.
It does
maybe
not at all. Yep,
Yeah.
Does not. For something that a game that's 5 years old, you would imagine that it'd be taking, you know, leaps and bounds within that same, you know, time period, but it's not, and it's very frustrating. So, you know, we'll see what happens. Again, there were some changes that they also displayed too about running speed compared to like the DPS characters versus healers, and then knockback effects when it is compared to like tanks and DPS. So that'll be interesting. They changed Mei. Mei is pretty much dead in the water now because she doesn't freeze characters. So she's a character that you would use like a freeze gun on them, and it would slow them down and do damage to them, and then it would after like 2 seconds of, you know, being consistently on one character, it would freeze them in place for like 2 seconds. And that is being completely done away with. They're not going to be able to freeze that character at all.
Wow.
Which makes Mei less competitive for sure. So they're ruining characters, and it's just weird. Blizzard is not being very thoughtful with this. A lot of people, like I said, are freaking out about it. A lot of people are going to be out of the job pretty soon. So I don't know.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and it's impacting not only the original Overwatch, but it's also not only impacting Overwatch 2, it's impacting Overwatch 1 as well.
Right.
So like when this change for the 5v5 comes up in Overwatch 2, it'll also mean it's 5v5 for Overwatch the original.
Oh, wow.
Game.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. I'm also really surprised that Blizzard hasn't announced they're creating a battle royale of Overwatch or WoW. Like I think that is like a no-brainer, like cash cow right there. They haven't done or haven't tried yet.
That'd be cool.
It's crazy. Yeah, right. But that's just an idea. But anyways, I'm looking forward to Blizzard continuing to ruin some games of mine that I love. I can't wait to see how they fuck up Diablo 2 and 4. So let's go.
I'm sure we'll find out around E3 time.
Yeah, or BlizzCon.
Or BlizzCon rather.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all we got for you guys this week. Remember, Super Joystick Radio is a weekly show, so please subscribe and leave a review on your favorite podcast application. iTunes. There you go.
We're going to get harmonies for that. So.
Become a patron at patreon.com/superjoystickradio. Help support the show, keep us going, and make the show better. $1 gets you early access to the audio version of the show of the podcast. $3 gets you exclusive access to our show notes and the SJR Banter Archives, which is filled with a bunch of episodes of stuff that's been cut from before, during, and after previous episodes. $5 gets you all those perks plus a Discord badge. So you should join our Discord server and become a $5 patron so you can have a shiny little badge next to your name. It's cool.
Woo.
And you also get a mention on the show for being a $5 patron. Shout-outs right now to Phil Lynch, Joe Halder, Rob Belchunas, Nick, last name not specified, Caitlin, Chrissy, Justin D., Maddie Deebs, C. Fresh, and Jay Schmed.
Lucio Main.
All tiers also get discounts in the merch store where you can find things like SJR.
Sorry.
You stole my thunder. SJR 3-cornered hats.
I'll say SJR. Oh, is mine 3/4? I'm sorry. Well, let's pull it down. SJR toothbrushes.
Oh, SJR toothpaste.
Ooh, minty.
SJR floss.
Oh, with SJR the show notes deodorant.
With the show notes written on the floss.
Yeah.
You have to peel it out. There you go.
SJR vinyl. And we're gonna get our podcast pressed into vinyl.
There you go. That would totally be worth it.
Right? Totally.
Everyone would buy that.
Absolutely.
Follow us on Twitter at SJoystickRadio. Follow us on Instagram at SuperJoystickRadio. Subscribe on YouTube for Let's Plays and streams. Sub to the Twitch channel that we're on right now at twitch.tv/SuperJoystickRadio. Shout out to the awesome people that have been in the live chat interacting with us during the show. That's why we do it here live. We want you guys to be part of the show.
Hell yeah.
So join us on Twitch, usually Sunday mornings, but it could be any time during the weekend. We post on social media and on Patreon publicly, so you don't have to be a patron to see our posts on there. Or you can just show up on Twitch TV and subscribe, and that way it'll tell you when we go live. You can just go right to it. Ding.
Ding.
Visit superjoystickradio.com for all of our social media links, the merch store, and you can join our Discord server there and just see what people are talking about, which is cool. Leave us a text or a voicemail via the SGR hotline, 630-551-8898. That's 630-551-8898. Get in on the conversation. We love to hear your feedback and topic ideas on any platform. Like a grade school birthday party, nobody leaves empty-handed. Here's your goodie bag for the week. Justin, what do you have for the good people?
So my albums of the year so far is either Greenleaf's Echoes from a Mass. So that came out this year. So Greenleaf's Echoes from a Mass and Black Sky Giants Planet Terror. It is
those Black are Sky lots Giant. Of words.
Yeah, the Black Sky Giant is fucking awesome. They
I'll
are
have to listen to
small band from Argentina. It's a like super desert stoner metal band. It's all instrumental, but it just, dude, it punches so hard. You can only find it on YouTube too. They're not like on Apple Music or anywhere else. Yeah, they're super underground. Check them out. I found them through deep black rabbit holes that I found through the music of the backside of YouTube. Like, it was just crazy. So like, I was just exploring and I found this band and it is fucking next level. So Black Sky Giants, Planet Terror. Otherwise, listen to Greenleaf's Echoes from a Mass. That one just came out this year. It is fucking sensational as well.
Nice. All right, mine is Hulu, The Handmaid's Tale Season 4, baby.
Nice. Me and my wife just started Handmaid's Tale 2 weeks ago, and we blew through seasons 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, it's so good. Well, 4 is
so
out
good.
now, and they released 3 episodes on the first day, and I
Nice.
think it's on like episode like 6 now or something. So
We're
yeah,
holding off until they finish because we don't want to
have to
to
wait.
wait. Yeah, we
Yeah,
fucking
well,
hate the
that
waiting
should
game.
be soon. So we had to wait for like 2 years or a year and a half for this last season or this current season. So,
Nice.
anyways, it's a great show, and that's all we've got for you guys this week. Thanks for listening. We love you, and we'll see you next week.
Bye. Play some great video games, motherfuckers.